Hey everybody, it is Andrew back here, and today I want to address the question of what do we do with that booking request from that difficult student? We all have them, we all see them, and for me personally, relating back, this hits home because I was a difficult student in French. So I live in Canada and I went into French immersion and I was a terrible French immersion student. I even had teachers telling me to give it up and go back to English. No joke, I did, unfortunately. That was one teacher's recommendation. And in all honesty, I wasn't very good. I tried my hardest, but I just was not very good. So I can relate with these students. I really can. It was very difficult for me, and for some of the students, I break it into two different things. It's either their behavior is really bad or poor, or it's difficult like it was for me. I was a good student, but I just was not very good with my French. I can say some words here, but I'm not very good at remembering the grammar for French. So what do we do with that request? And the reason why I really started thinking about this recently is because I keep seeing the same trend of getting an inordinate amount of 5-star reviews coming back from parents with a difficult kid. So I wondered, and I thought originally, maybe it's because these parents see that you're putting in the effort, they know their kid is a little bit challenging, and they're giving you a 5-star review. And I'm starting to rethink that. I think that's part. Yes, I think that's part. But at the same time, this is the other thing I think that's taking place. What's also taking place is that these students that are a little more difficult, need a little more TLC, they're getting their booking requests rejected. So think about this for the parents. What's happening is, in some cases, and I'm not criticizing any of you for doing that. I'm not. I'm just telling you this is likely what's happening and why we are getting an inordinate amount of 5-star reviews from difficult kids. At least I am anyways. So if they're getting rejected from a teacher, they might be thinking, what is a way that I can keep this student with this teacher, and that's to give more 5-star reviews. So I think that also plays into the equation of they probably understand their child is a little more challenging, and at the same time they feel that they've probably got rejected from some teachers because they are difficult, they need a little bit more TLC. So that's just something that I've been thinking about recently. So I want to talk about what do we do with those kids that are a little more challenging. And I want to break this up into a few different parts here. So I do know that they are harder, they take a little more time, they take a little more effort, but at the same time, there's lots of different ways that we can work around this, that we can turn that into a positive. And I already mentioned the first positive is you're going to get more 5-star reviews. You will. In my experience, at least, anyways, I've gotten a lot more 5-star reviews from the difficult students. I know for some of them anyways, the time constraints are the big thing, and just the energy. The time constraints you can work around. You really need to model lots. You need to only do part of the slide sometimes. Let's be honest here, if you tried to do every slide to its entirety with these students, you would be there for 50 minutes, easy. If you tried to let them read every word, and I'm not slighting them, and I'm slighting myself in that because I was one of those students. You can't let them read every word. You have to model lots. You have to pick and choose a little bit on the slides on the important parts in order to hit that 25-minute mark, or in between that 25 to 27-minute mark. You do. You need to prioritize. That takes a little bit of work, I know, and practice. Another good thing that can come out of this as well is that those students tend to need a few more classes. So if you're looking for bookings, and yes, I know they are harder classes to work with, but if you're looking for bookings, they usually book more often during the week. So that's another positive thing for accepting those requests. Another thing that I'm starting to do as well is I'm starting to recommend some supplementary courses for these students. So, for example, the ones that are finding things difficult that may be just in a different level or a difficult level for them is to recommend maybe even the phonics course or different courses like that, the supplementary courses that will really help them get back to the basics and help them move ahead further. and think about it again. That's good for VIPKID, that's good for the kid to advance, and it's good for potentially you as a teacher to get more bookings, because if they're booking supplementary courses, they're likely going to come back to you as well for that. So everyone wins in that scenario. So those are just some strategies to consider with those challenging students. I like still accepting those booking requests on a lot of different levels. I think it's the right thing to do. I'm not criticizing anyone for rejecting them. I understand. I know they take a lot of work, a lot of energy, and it's difficult when you're doing a lot of classes, but there are ways around it. I've found ways around it. It's taking a little bit of work, but there are ways around it. And anyways, that's just my thoughts on that. Leave me some comments on what you think in terms of what do you do with those requests. What are ways that you work with those difficult students? And leave some comments just on what strategies you're using. So if you can, like my videos. If you do like them, subscribe to my channel. I try and do videos every few days just on current events, what's going on, and all the best with your teaching here as we get into the end of the week. Bye, everyone.